It has taken over jobs in my field and I've been affected by it. I'm going to give this YouTube stuff another shot, but my videos don't get that many views. You want to see more videos, please consider sharing them. Thanks.
A new record!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Left 4 Dead 2 Splatoon weapon mod where I replace weapons found in Left 4 Dead 2 with the ones from the Splatoon series. This time we're replacing this weapon, the machete. The machete in Left 4 Dead 2 is one of the fastest weapons in terms of swing speed. Most of the other ones are quite slow in comparison. This makes it the ideal weapon to replace it with the ink brush from Splatoon because the ink brush has very quick swings. As always, I asked you guys on my Patreon which variant of the ink brush I should replace the machete with, and in the end I went with the regular ink brush. Now without further ado, here it is replacing the machete. I also made the ink brush giant size so that it's accurate to the Splatoon games. The video was available to my Patreon supporters. Now, let's see what it looks like when we're holding it, through our eyes when we're playing the game. Notice that I had to make the weapon a lot smaller when we're holding it, because if we make it the same size as it is in the Splatoon games, in other words giant size, the only thing we're going to see on the screen is the handle of the weapon, more or less. I also have a video of that on my Patreon, us holding the giant weapon from our point of view. But just like in that Ultra Stamp video, I said that I like to see most of the weapon that I'm holding. So I shrunk the weapon down to what you see on the screen now. Looking at this, at first glance it looks fine. I accomplished that, I see most of the weapon. But when you look down, you'll notice that something is a little bit off. As a result of shrinking this weapon down, everything is smaller, especially the handle.
It is so tiny!
To fix that, I had to make the weapon a little bit bigger, and that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. And it looks okay, the handle actually fits his hand, but as a result, we only see the tube of the ink. And to some of you, you might actually prefer how this looks. But for me, I don't see the important part of this weapon, which is the bristle of the brush and the ink on it. Because if you were to ask your dog what is being shown in this picture without any context, they wouldn't be able to tell you that this is a brush. And if you ask your mom, she also wouldn't be able to tell you. But then if you show your dog this, they would tell you, oh yeah, it's a brush. And then you'll be like, good doggy, and you give them a treat. And then your mom would be like, yeah, I also know that it's a brush. And then you give her a treat too. So, how did I get around this issue? Remember, I wanted to be able to show the bristles, but keep the weapon the same size when I had it like this. If you look at a picture of an ink brush, you'll notice that there are two handles, and the second handle is used when you're pushing the brush on the ground. So, why don't we just use that handle instead? And that's what I did. And it actually looks pretty good. When we're swinging it, you can actually see us holding the second handle. Now that that's handled, let's move on to the sound. Currently, our ink brush still sounds like the machete. In Splatoon, the ink brush sounds like this. It makes a wet sound because it's spraying ink. Now with a little bit of tinkering, our ink brush sounds like it does in Splatoon. Next, I'm going to remove parts of the weapon to reduce its file size and so the game runs better. There's no point in keeping parts of the weapon if we're never going to see it in the first place. Here is the model of the ink brush. Let's see in slow motion which parts of the ink brush is not shown to us when we're the ones holding it. We don't see the front-facing sides or the bottom-facing sides. However, we can see a good portion of the left side as well as the right side with certain animations. Now, going back to the model, all of the orange parts that I highlighted are the parts we won't see. So let's go ahead and remove them. And here's what the final model looks like. And with that, let's start the game and see if there are any issues. Looks good to me. I think we're done. Now, normally this is where I end the video, but there's one more thing I want to do. Remember how we can push the brush along the ground in Splatoon? I can also do that in Left 4 Dead 2, if I remake the brush so that it's pointing towards the ground and use my imagination. This totally looks convincing, right? Please tell me it looks convincing.
I don't know.